All right, Derek, so what I'm going to have you do, I'm just going to have you hit just 2 putts for me real quick, and we'll just go from there, okay?
Sounds good.
So I know a big thing you had kind of mentioned when we kind of went through the opening process was that you had said one of your biggest problems was probably ball position in your putting stroke. You kind of get a little inconsistent there. So what I noticed, I mean, both of those putts were hit fairly well, but you said they kind of tend to travel back. And the importance of keeping it forward in your golf swing, I mean, as you've probably heard before, is it gives you a consistent, seamless flow. The ball, your strikes are more consistent. You get more of a consistent roll out of the ball that you can judge. So I'm going to have you just go ahead and hit one more ball. We're going to set one up. I want you to set one up forward in your stance, kind of almost just off your collar. And I'm going to have you hit a putt right there.
Go right there.
Yeah, looks good. Contact's on it really good. You could hear it. All right, now this one, I just want you to play out the center of your stance. Kind of move it back for me.
Go right there.
Yeah, looks good. So, what you kind of saw right there is on that first strike, with the ball forward in your stance, you're catching the club's bottoming out behind the ball, and you're kind of catching that ascending blow on the ball, which gives it that nice, smooth, consistent roll.
Okay.
And obviously, it showed. You know, you hit the first one center of the cup. The second one, you kind of pushed a little right, and you could even hear it off the putter face. It sounded like a lot more of a ting. You know, it didn't sound as smooth. And what that was is, instead of that ascending blow we're looking for, the putter on the ball it had a descending blow.
Okay.
So you don't get as consistent of a roll out of the putt, and the club bottoms out in front of the ball, so you tend to kind of get more of a push there. So one big thing to kind of think of is just think of lining the ball up off your left shirt collar or even the logo of your shirt to kind of build up some consistency.
All right, sounds good.
All right, Derek, so if you want to go ahead and we got you set up here with just, a little standard chip shot. If you want to go ahead and just hit, 3 or 4 or 5 balls, and then I'm just going to sit back and just observe. So just kind of pretend like I'm not even here. Set up to one again, and I'll kind of explain basically what's going on. So when you set up to this chip shot, basically the result of those thin shots that you're getting is your weight's a little too much favoring your right side, so you're kind of hanging back and the club's bottoming out behind the ball, and you're kind of clipping it a little thin. So what I want you to do to ensure that ball first contact, let's slide it. Ball position's fine, but let's try to get some weight favoring that left side a little more. Let's see you hit one on the left side. I like that one. Real good. Get you one more. Let's see. Weight left. Real Real good, real good. Those look a lot better with the weight on the left side, so good job there. All right, Derek, so I'm just going to have you go ahead and just hit a couple of balls for me. We've kind of talked about, some pre-swing changes, some setup. So I'm going to go ahead and just let you hit, 3 or 4 balls.
Okay.
And then I'll come back in and we'll talk. So basically, what you're looking for, especially on this kind of bunker shot, is a high, soft, kind of spinny shot.
Yeah.
So basically, what's going on in a bunker? Most of the time, you hear around the greens, full swing, ball first, divot in front. Well, it's kind of weird. Out of the bunker, it's the opposite. So really, the club, it kind of sounds silly, but almost the club never makes contact with the ball.
Yeah.
So basically, it's not the ball it's not the club hitting the ball out of the bunker, it's the sand that's lifting the ball out.
Okay.
So you really want, to set that ball forward, have a kind of a forward ball position, and really get that club working, an open club face, neutral grip, there's no rotation of the club face, it's pretty much staying open all the way through impact into the finish, into the follow through. And basically what's that doing is the club's bottoming out behind the ball.
Okay.
You start your divot, and then it grabs the ball about halfway through, and then it just kind of throws, the sand kind of throws the ball out of that bunker. But by limiting the rotation of the club face and keeping it open, that's when you're going to get that high launch, just a real high, soft launch. So open club face, let it work through there, and think of, a high finish.
Okay.
So real good though. Those shots look fun. So.
Hit you 2 more.
2 more. Okay. So I know earlier you had kind of mentioned, some of your misses tend to be either blocks right, or you kind of get a little hooky with it. Maybe some pull cuts in there every now and then. So basically, what causes that is there's a club face to club path relationship, and usually, when people understand that, or at least have an idea of kind of what's going on with that, it can almost help you kind of self-teach yourself as you go along, kind of helping fix some mistakes. So basically, for a draw, which is a right to left curving shot, you tend to have an in to out club head path with a closed club face, which generates that left hook.
Yeah.
And then for a cut or a slice, it's an out to in path with an open face.
Okay.
So I think overall path looks fine. Maybe on those, I would say, maybe on some of those pull hooks, you really want to feel your upper body rotating. You're not just kind of all arms.
Okay.
You kind of want to feel your shoulders making a turn, like down into the ball, and then the arms coming behind them. Kind of really getting that first lever in there. I mean, overall rotation looks fine. You're not flipping at it. I mean, that's the biggest thing I'd say is with those hooks, just really, try to think not to pull out of it, and really to just stay down.
Okay.
Stay down and through the ball, and then finish high. And I
Okay.
think that'll really help you fix some of those hooks that you're fighting.
Okay.
All right, Derek. So we're out here on hole 14 at the Mississippi State University golf course. And what we have here, we're just going to kind of talk a little bit about cause and effect. You know, when you're playing at different elevations
Yeah.
of golf courses, you know, whether you're playing at like a sea island on the coast, or you're playing, you know, at a course up in like Colorado or something. Obviously, that's going to affect, you know, distance control. And then another big factor is wind and then temperature.
Yeah.
So warmer conditions, you're going to get a little more carry because the air's thinner. In some colder conditions, when you play in winter golf and late fall golf, the air's thicker, so the ball's not going to travel as far. So what I have here, we have about a 147 yard iron shot. It's probably what, like a stock 9 iron?
Yeah,
You
right,
have? Okay. It's a little uphill, so there's going to be some elevation.
Yeah.
We're kind of later into the fall, so the air is going to be a little thicker. So for those two factors, you want to add a little distance, you know, 5-10 yards. Now, the final factor is we're hitting downwind. So we got a pretty steady, you know, 4-5 mile an hour wind out here right now. So I would play this shot like around 152,
Yeah.
153. So I'll go ahead. I'm gonna let you hit a couple shots, and then I'll come back in. We'll see how this turn out, and then we'll talk about it a little more. So.
Okay.
Hit 2 more.
Okay.
I'll get you one more good one. There you go. That's the best one. But you can definitely see, you know, how the elevation affects it, and especially the wind. I mean, the last, you know, kind of the middle two kind of traveled a little farther. You know, once it gets up in that wind, it really takes it. So, yeah, just a few considerations to take in mind, and the effects that they'll have on the golf ball. So, sure. But good job there, Eric.